Good evening, folks. Welcome to episode 18, season 2 of the Town End podcast. A massive 36 hours for the town of Dundalk. Amy Broadhurst beating our way to World Championship gold yesterday, and Dundalk taking on the would-be champions in Derry City in Brandywell Park tonight, Ryan McBride Stadium. We're going to discuss we're going to try and avoid the ref controversy as much as we can, but we're going to bring in Donald, I wish my name was Tom Hanks. I'm going to bring in Steph, Donald's new vlogging mate, new interviewee, Steph McKevitt. Evening, gents.
How's things, Andrew?
Since I haven't been on last week, I'm going to cut to you first, Steph. What did we think?
Yeah, look, I went to score in a plan, just like we said last week, I suppose. Yeah, look, it was never going to be easy up there, but I thought we were particularly good. I thought first half we looked like the much better team. I know they had a couple of chances and Shepherd saved one or two, but look, you go up there and like I said, we were chasing them down. I thought they'd be looking over their shoulders, and they've gone through a bit of a sticky patch of late, and we've continued that on now. And look, we're 4 points behind them with a game in hand. So, we're chasing them. We're not looking behind us. We're looking ahead. See if we can close the gap on the top two.
Yeah, I think I know for myself. I won't speak for you, but myself at the start of the season, I kind of thought these would be pretenders to the league. I kind of thought, not that I don't think they won't be, but we're probably in a very shocking position that we're, like you called it last week. I was checking up on you from Disneyland last week and what you were saying, but it's an odd one that we're so close to them, isn't it? I don't know if it's more of a shock that Rovers have that 7 points now after tonight's match, or that we're actually that close to Derry. I don't know what's more of a surprise, Donald. What do you think?
I haven't really even been paying that much attention to it, to be honest. I mean, it's the way the league works. Like, this 6 points could be gone in 3 days, you know, and because everybody's playing each other, the 4 times a season, it's really, really hard to get a grip on where everybody's supposed to be, you know. Like, I think,
especially with the Friday Monday scenario that we've been having.
Like, I know we obviously won tonight, so that's great and everything. But like, if we hadn't won tonight, the gap is huge again. So like, I'm trying not to pay too much attention to where we are in the league.
We don't want to be too positive.
That's a big if. An awful big if there, don't.
Yeah, no. I was expecting a Derry steamroller win because I was listening to the boys in commentary the whole night. We snuck away with a 2-1 win. But anyway, we won't talk about the referee, but are we allowed to talk about the commentators?
We can. The last time I was here, it was commentator central. And we probably avoided the refs all season. There has been some stinkers, and we've tried not to really get at them, but I think look, we can get into maybe the ref later on. Maybe we'll talk about the first half first, and then we'll talk about the referee. But just on comments, obviously it's Friday night again, so we're giving away Tony's Pizza cheese pizza for any of our comments that come in for the man of the match. We did discuss, myself and Donald, before that it could be a difficult man of the match. I don't know what kind of numbers we're going to get in for it, but I don't think it's a straightforward push. But we'll take all comers anyway for the win on the pizza. We'll get sorted with Vinny. So just on the first half, I know whatever about the stream, like, I don't know what we missed in the stream. If it was anything like the first kind of 28, 29 minutes, we didn't miss a lot. I know we actually, in my opinion, we actually started better. Probably, we come on before and we said, I in particular said that we start slow and it takes a while into the game, but I actually thought we started a better team tonight. But then we had the flip side of it where we scored and an absolute cracking finish from Bobby Renson, as they call him. But then it just kind of seemed to be not the Derry show, but they seemed to kind of take over a little bit. They seemed to be quicker with their pass, and they seemed to have a bit more of the ball. I don't know if that was just me, but that's the way it felt up until the fantastic stream that we were getting just disappeared for everybody.
Yeah, I thought Derry were tidy enough in possession, but we were putting them under pressure as well and not letting them get into their their proper rhythm. And then we were getting chances, like half chances. Like I think Benson had a couple of shots and stuff from outside the box. He had one brilliant opportunity from around the edge of the box that he came running onto that if he'd made a proper connection, he could have scored again. So I think we were dangerous. But yeah, like the lads had to work extremely hard to keep Derry at bay because they've got a lot of good players, and they again, commentators mentioned how many chances they create in the game. But they had to work really hard to keep them quiet, and I think they did that. They disrupted them, and they created a few decent chances and scored an absolutely fantastic goal. And then you think back on, how many saves has Shepherd had to make that were difficult saves. He hasn't really had to make too many. So, first half until the stream went down, the second time, first time you could just give it a refresh.
You had to get that wee dig in there, didn't you, Donald? The second time you had to get that wee in.
Yeah. But it was weird too, because there was tweets coming in late as well. So I don't know if it was just like a worldwide football internet outage or something. But normally you get the tweets a couple of minutes before the goal scored or whatever, and there was nothing, and then the goal. So maybe it's not LOI TV's fault. Maybe it's sort of outside technical issue.
We'll blame Chris down in the head in the game park.
Yeah. It had to be, even if it wasn't his fault, it's his fault, right?
Steph, did you think probably from a Derry point of view, did you, like, if you're up at the game tonight as a Derry fan, you're watching the first half, even from what I was saying, but definitely from a Derry point of view, you probably thought, right, Dundalk have scored, but we're definitely, we're probably the better team overall here. We probably still win this. They'll probably turn this over. I kind of got that feeling coming up to obviously Streamgate. But was it in the air that Derry kind of thought, right, we've a cracking squad here? I don't really think. It was like they almost thought, and even from the commentators, I don't want to go on with the commentators, but it was almost that Dundalk were an old dog. It's kind of like, the Derry were these new kids on the block and looking for, they're going to control the game from start to finish. Like, you kind of got that vibe off the commentators. Would you think that was kind of a way that Derry fans would be thinking nowadays as well?
Yeah, well, look, all the talk before, I think a couple of podcasters tipped them to win the league, steamroll the league, I think, at one stage. But yeah, they would have been full of confidence. The likes of the Rovers game, McGonigal gets the winner against Rovers late on. I can't remember if they were behind in that, but it was 1-1 for a long while, and they're probably thinking, look, we get an equaliser first, and then we kick on from there. We're at home. They're really looking to be challenging Rovers and looking to win a league. So they like years ago, if that was Dundalk, it was in Oriel Park, and Derry City was coming up to Oriel, and even at 1-0 behind, you'd still be expecting to go and win the game.
Yeah.
So look, I'm sure Higgins probably is instilled that winning mentality in them, but I just the feeling I got for the last couple of weeks that they hit a bit of a sticky patch, and I know Higgins was saying in the press that the last couple of games they only picked up 2 points, but they were more valued than 2 points out of the last couple of games. But when it gets into a squad and you're not picking up the wins, and the team, your closest rivals for the title, I suppose, is after beating you, and I just thought, it was an excellent opportunity for us to go up there. Bar the UCD game the last couple of weeks, we've been very good, and we've been scoring goals for fun, and Shepherd's been brilliant, and he was very good again tonight. So, I just thought it was prime opportunity for us to go up there and really put the pressure on them. And look, we've come away with a 2-1 win, and we're right in their tails now. If we can just make that game in hand count now at Monday night, I think they might be away to Sligo maybe. Which probably, like, I know they're in a bit of a free fall, but look, you're going up to that pitch on a Monday evening. The pitch is probably still in poor shape as well. So, I wouldn't fancy a trip up there on Monday night. I know we've no easy task against Finn Hobbs up there, and it's always a difficult place to go. But
Yeah.
after picking up the 3 points in the Brandywell, you know, you'd be hoping for another 3 points there again. But look, the commentators just going on to them for a second, but
I could hear you. I remember we watched it. Was it the famous Kieran Hawken game? Was that this season or last season? And you
last season, yeah.
Like I could hear you in the back of my head when these commentators were talking. I was like, Steph's going to have a field day with these boys on the podcast.
No, look, I'm trying to keep it to a minimum, but yeah, Kevin that was on with him, I don't know. Like, look, he said at the end of the game, like, the standout moment from the second half was the Dundalk all losing their heads. Like, is he for real? Like, do you know what I mean? The standout moment from the second half, like,
yeah.
Like, I thought we were missing stuff. I know there was a little bit of whatever you want to call it off, but I thought there was an absolute riot the way they were talking. It was just like, I think it was McDonald in behind the dugout. I think that was the problem. Like, it was no big riot.
Stevie must have heard the lads in he must have heard the lads in commentary. That's why he got sent off, I'd say. Look, you expect a little bit of bias because LOI TV, any home game, obviously you have someone that's connected with the club. But I think like Adrian and Flano are different class doing it. Like, do you know what I mean? You're nearly just straight down the middle. They don't go over the top. And like, when you listen to some of them and you listen to like Shamrock Rovers at times, you're just saying, how are these boys allowed to do it? Like, it's incredible.
You mentioned just before we have a podcast on other commentaries, you mentioned goal scoring earlier on. Benson's goal was right at a top draw, wasn't it? Like the pass, the turn, an absolute. Like, I had zoomed out from the stream, so I didn't actually. I had the commentary down because the kids were falling asleep, but I didn't actually see it go in. He hit it that quick. I had to actually get the replay on, but an absolute screamer of a finish.
Yeah, look, we sort of said it last week. Hopefully, him getting his first goal after his comeback sort of sets him on his trail, and maybe if he doesn't score last week, he doesn't take the shot on. But like, it's a superb finish, and he's like, even the turn just to create the space for the shot. And look, not many people would have took it on from that sort of distance, and to just get it right in the corner at such power. Like, he has that in his locker. Like, it is a cracking goal, and you're always like in awe of great goals. But then when you see it's Benson, then you're sort of like, yeah, he could do these sort of things, and we've seen it plenty of times. He's done it on the European level, so hopefully that's him up and running. And you know, we need people chipping in from goals from midfield, and if someone's going through a bit of a dry spell, like Bradley seems to be going through, you know, he's still dangerous. He's still creating chances, and look, if the goals can come from all around the park, it's just taking the burden off Hubin a little bit. But he's still scoring goals, and he's hunting down this record big time.
Yeah. I don't know, just on Benson's goal, I don't know about you, but I find, like, I don't know if we are blessed over the years by witnessing screaming goals for season upon season. I don't know if these are all a bit sweeter because we've had that little bit of a downturn last season, and now the expectation on us probably isn't as much this year. It's kind of like a rebuilding thing. So the goals like that seem that little bit more special. I don't know if that's just me or if you feel the same, but obviously we are blessed with the McElhennys and the Towles and Darryl Hogan and all these goals over the years. But I think when we do goals like these, they're just that wee bit sweeter now because of the season we had last year.
I don't know whether it's we had a bit of an expectancy about us where, you know, we had these high level players where like Mickey Duffy could just cut in his right foot and just rocket one into the far top corner, and you know, Fats pulled off unbelievable pieces of skill. And yeah, I don't know whether it was an expectancy, and you're still getting to know some of these new players coming in, and you're just not expecting it or whatever. But a little bit of that for me. It's not like, you know, I don't know, like I think it's not like, oh, this is special, and I think maybe you're just not expecting it just as much as you used to because you're right up there. But look, I think I don't know, I keep saying it, but I think there's something special building here again, and we don't want to draw comparisons to the past again, but you know, it's the same sort of trajectory as we seen before.
I think if you look at the performance as well, sorry, Gally, if you look at even just the way the game played out, that like the Dundalk took the lead, then were comfortable, gave away a goal from a free kick, and then went back up the pitch and scored. Like that's a winning. That's like a champions mentality. I know they're not champions, but that's like if Derry had done that, everybody would have been saying like, yeah, this is Derry primed and ready for a championship charge because they can go get a win when they, you know, the chips are down or whatever. Like, not again. I'm with Steph. We're not getting carried away. I'm not even looking at the league table. I don't even know how many points we have.
Well, the good news is I'm producing, so I can't bring up the league table. So we don't have to look at it.
Let me live in a fantasy land. But
Chris couldn't last week either.
But no, it's like that performance, like the thing Gally were saying there, but like not expecting it this season compared to previous seasons. What you would have definitely expected last season was that once we conceded one, we were conceding the second one and probably a third one before the night was over. That the confidence would be shot. But whatever the lads are in training and in team meetings and everything else, they seem to be in really good shape. That UCD game is obviously a bit of an outlier in like recent results and recent performances, but they do seem to be in really, really good shape. And like the only major disappointment from the whole night is that there wasn't a camera on Gart's ripping chairs out of the stand and throwing them into Derry fans. Apparently, I don't know if that's what he was doing or not, but it sounds like he was going like full Shawn Michaels and Degeneration X and just spitting on people and causing an absolute riot. So it's a shame we didn't see any of that. But it's obviously
great publicity for the new book.
Newspapers tomorrow. You know?
I was actually listening to Gareth on LOI Central earlier on. I haven't got his book yet. I don't know if you have started, but I'm going to get it tomorrow just on listening to the snippets from Dan and the lads on League of It. It sounds like an absolute cracking book. I know Chris has it, so I don't know if you have got it yet, but it's definitely on the shopping list for tomorrow when I'm going to get me breakfast. Just on, I know obviously when the stream came back, now I don't know if it was a delay on the stream. I happened to turn on the stream exactly as they were kicking off, so I actually thought I was a few minutes behind. They were just replaying from the start again. But it was definitely a better second half overall not from everybody, but definitely as an end-to-end game. It probably was a more even spread. It probably, we probably had, I won't say we had the better of it, but we definitely probably went and earned that second half, those goals that we got in the play that we got on the ball. I thought we kind of had Derry, whatever was said at half-time before O'Donnell was sent off, obviously spurred them on because I felt Derry were kind of, I won't say they were kind of caught on the back foot, but we just seemed to get at them more. We just seemed to be, right, let's go and match their level, match their kind of their pace, their intensity. That was just what I felt from it. I thought we were just definitely a better team in the second half. We were a better match for them.
I think the performance was good in the second half. The one thing that I was a little bit disappointed in was that they didn't push on a bit more. I felt like they were putting themselves in a position where a goal from a free kick or a corner would have undone a really good night's work. And then for like the 5 minutes after the Derry goal, they came back out and started attacking again and pressuring high up the pitch and got the reward for it. So they were very comfortable. I don't know if somebody said something about game management in the group before you, Steph. Before we were starting, and it was like they were fairly comfortable, and it was only going to be free kicks and corners that were causing us trouble. So like we were pretty comfortable, but the only problem with that is what did end up happening was just one good ball over the top and a free kick and then a decent ball into the box. Like it's the fine margins, is especially when you're playing against a team with good players, but yeah, I thought they were fairly comfortable, and only Will Penalty's free kick at the end was like the closest they came to the scoring. So like, yeah, it's hard to be like it was a fairly comfortable 2-1 win, but it felt a little bit like a comfortable 2-1 win.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get. It was, even though it looks like it's a 2-1 hard fought, I don't want to say it didn't look like it was going to go any other way, but when we scored, I think there could have been 10 minutes injury time. And I don't think Derry, I just don't think it was going to be their night. I just think we had it. Like, I actually think we could have scored 3. We had another chance later on after that. We actually could have got a third one. But it just felt those last kind of maybe 15 minutes, definitely from when we scored. Like you said, last season, we might have scored in the 83rd minute and there was every chance we would have scored, would have conceded an equaliser. But I just didn't get that off tonight. Just like Steph was saying, they're building something different here. It seems to be like a different mentality from O'Donnell and Bournes and Podge on the sideline, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think, look, we've built from the back. At the start we sort of had the dogs going nuts here.
Rob Harvey.
I thought you were right. I thought you were Irish dancing. I thought you were tap dancing underneath the desk.
Yo.
But yeah, look, I think they've built a solid back line now, and they've sort of just went on from there. You know, we're seeing Slogger come into the team and be more dominant and more predominant in there. Doyle, I thought, was brilliant again today. He came back into the starting lineup, and I thought he done very well. He's picked up a couple of goals the last couple of weeks, and obviously that's given him a bit more confidence. And you know, he's demanding of the ball, and he plays it well. And there's a few more people cropping up. Like, look, I know we all sort of give out about him at different times, but like Kelly stepping up with a few goals where last season he mightn't have got them, and creating chances. And you know, like, it's coming from all around the team. If someone has a bit of a quiet night, then somebody seems to step up in his place. I think especially, I don't know what happens, but the last couple of weeks in the second half, I think Greg Sloggett steps it up a level when people start getting tired, or I don't know, like, he just, the last couple of weeks especially, he's put in like nearly man-the-match performances in the second half. And I think I said in the group, just in the chat we have, like, I was thinking, look, we'll go on and win it. Even when they got the equaliser, I was thinking we'll push on. John Martin, it's just, Collins just said it, he was brilliant when he came on. He fought, he kept the ball, he was progressive with it, he won free kicks and corner kicks when he came on, and you know, he sets up the goal. He set up the second goal as well. So, you know, having players like that, having options, you know, it all bodes well for us. Like, hopefully he's obviously going to be pushing on, looking for starting spots, but soon he still has the big stone cold knee brace on, but hopefully, but like, he's able to contribute, and at the minute it's a bit limited at the end, but you know, he sets up the goal tonight for the winner, and he scores the winner against Shells as well. So look, a lot of people's playing their part there to push us up the table, and you know, we just have to keep the momentum going now, I suppose, on to Monday night.
Yeah, just I see the comments coming in, folks. Just a reminder, man of the match competition open for pizza and well, it's just a pizza. I'm going to say and pizza and order a Coke, order chips. You know, make the man. You know, give him that extra wee bit. I see a lot of talk of Sloggett and stuff, and you mentioned Paul Doyle earlier on. I'm just looking. I just see stuff flashed up on Twitter here. That's our first. We're talking about the mentality of, you know, the new kind of regime. I suppose that's our first away win. We're the last team in the league to get an away win this season. But I'm just reading the stat here. Reggie's Stato Rogers. They've played 18 games in the Brandywell, 14 wins, 3 draws, and 1 defeat. Like, that's a savage record to have away from home at Derry, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like 18 games. You've only been beaten once.
Yeah.
Play up there every week.
We're used to playing on the pitch.
Yeah.
The 4G artificial turf, I think it was called 40 times.
And there's me tipping Derry to whitewash the league, and they haven't won against Dundalk up there in 18 or 1-1, the 1-3 or 1 defeat. Mental stat. What am I talking about at the start of the season?
Look, they still have a very impressive squad, and I wouldn't be surprised for them to turn the form around very quickly. Like, look, the players they're missing, even if you look at the players they're missing, like a few ex-Dundalk players, they shall not be mentioned, because we'd start crying again. But look, they've been massive misses for them as well. Penalty Patchen has done pretty well from dead balls, and he's got a couple of goals and assists this season as well. So, you know, they've a quality squad, and you're right to have them up there. I just thought Rovers would be a little bit stronger and they have the know-how. They've been there and done it, and I thought Derry might challenge them, but I still think it might be close. But I think Rovers will just be too strong for them in the end. But you know, this result tonight, and not just the result of performance, will just do us the world of good. Like, we won't fear going anywhere now, and we think we can pick up 3 points anywhere.
Yeah, and I think it's especially, like, I suppose if this was a weekly game, obviously if it's a Friday night, especially when you're trying, like you were saying, Steph, when you're kicking in straight into the Monday night, you're back up there, you're up at Finn Harps. Like, it's the perfect segue into that kind of game, isn't it? Because like you were saying earlier on, like, there's not many tougher places to go. Like, I know it's kind of become a cliche at this stage to go to play those type of games away, especially Monday nights. I think that could be just the perfect kind of starter for it tonight, couldn't it?
Yeah, and hopefully, look, we're a full-time outfit, so
yeah,
you know, the boys are going to be well prepared. I know Finn Harps will be, like, some of them might be working that day, and you've heard stories of them leaving Ballybuffet and going straight to work in a hospital, Barry McNamee and things like that. So, you know, you don't know what way they're going to be. They're going through a poor time, and like, draw to beat them 3-1 tonight. I think they then 3-1 was the last score I seen. But you know, they're going through a bad patch. But you just hope that we show up and we can come out of there with 3 points. We know how difficult it is to go down there, but we're just on the upward curve. So look, hopefully we can just keep it going there.
Donald, do you think more? I suppose, do you think momentum for us, as much as we've got it, do you think Derry now, like Steph was saying earlier on, with the results that they've had over the last couple of weeks and that kind of probably more frustration than anything else, do you think that could filter through now over the next couple of games? Do you think maybe, you know, we could be looking into maybe June or July and they're looking at new players maybe in the window and stuff?
Oh, I'd say they're
in a panic more than anything else, more than actually necessity.
I think they've got a couple of like really key injuries. Like, you'd imagine what their plan was for the start of the season, and then they've lost, you know, our two lads for their two lads. But I just think, like, so every game is going to be tough for them. It's tough. Every game is tough for everybody in the league, by and large. There's the odd one that's not that difficult, but like, there's enough good players in the squad that they have at the minute to win tight games, to win close games, because they've got good enough players to do it. And you look at, like, so they've got Sligo, and then home to Finn Harps is the next two. So, like, not going to say that they're definitely going to beat Sligo, because I'm just after saying every game's tough, so you can't say anyone's definitely going to beat anybody. But if they can get that win, then home to Finn Harps, you know, like, they can easily just pick that winning momentum back up again, because there's so many games and they come like right on top of each other. But on the flip side of that, then, if you get into a bad run of form, that can spiral as well. But I just think they're too good to get stuck in this. I think I actually, to be honest, if I would have liked to have seen McGonigal play tonight, I don't think he turned up, did he? Like, he would. I
love these wee Donald Hank digs that he gets in there. He just ships them in every so often, like a wee frisbee coming into the side.
Yeah.
I was waiting for the Mark Connolly was going to empty his pockets. So
I was going to save that for later, but no. The just on the commentary as well, that the commentators, like, that Derry almost won 4-2 in Dundalk up earlier in the season because McGonigal hit the post in the bar, and I'm like,
if you're anti,
football works, lads. But fair enough, okay. But yeah, no, like, if McGonigal gets back in the team and is the striker that everybody says that he is, then they should be fine. But I did want to point out I actually didn't look and see what the result of it was, but I think on Between the Stripes on Twitter, they had a vote of who would you rather have, Hooven or McGonigal. And I don't think there's much there's not much of a debate, really, is there? Like, I know McGonagall's, he is a good player. I'm not being
disrespectful. Oh, yeah, he is top class. You have to say he's one of the. I remember we were talking about him at the start. He's one of the most impressive I've seen in the lab. But like, I mean, Pat Hoban, like, Johnny on the spot every time, isn't he?
He's incredible, and it'll be one of these things like
McGonagall.
You just shout McGonagall.
No, I was gonna say something, but you started talking then. Sorry.
Sorry. I was just gonna say, like, when Pat Hoban breaks the record, like, we're all gonna witness something like absolutely incredible that I don't know. Like, when are we ever gonna see it again? You know, like, if this is an absolutely incredible career that he's had with us, and he's still playing as well now as he ever was. So, you take him over any centre forward in the league. So, can't argue with that. But I suppose
I was just gonna say, like, look, he's the McGonagall. He's the high player in the league. He's the high player in the league at the minute. But you know, the consistency levels that Hoban showed, like Donald just said there, like, you know what I mean. You can't be comparing the two right away. Like, even just speaking to Shane Grimes a couple of weeks ago about him, and I think he was when Grimesy was with Cliftonville, he played against with Ballymena, and he can't believe the levels that McGonagall's got there, because not that he said he was ordinary, but he said he didn't really stand out in the game or any of the games that played against him. But you know, he's doing well so far, and he's in a good squad there. But look, you have to do it for a while to start being mentioned in a conversation with Hoban.
Yeah, we probably have no right to be talking about anybody in the same kind of league as like, you mean, when you're talking Pat Hoban, you're going back to like Jason Bourne, that type of level, like that's, you know, you're going back that kind of ilk, you know, that type of player. Here's the man whose job I took tonight. Christopher,
I heard you can't even get a table up. What's going on?
Oh well, we will. I'm going to attempt it when the boys are talking later on. I'll probably put everything on fire. Chris, you were heading the game park tonight. You'll be able to give us a scouts report on Finn Harps. How did they get on?
Absolutely collapsed upon themselves. So Barry McNamee nearly had to be stretchered off. He seemed to be able to get up and walk off at the end, but the stretcher was on for him. Bastian Heary completely lost the head and got sent off. And this was all the time where Finn Harps were 1-0 up and a man up. So it just, I don't know how they managed to lose 3-1 tonight. They completely capitulated.
That's crazy. That's exactly what we need from Monday night.
Yeah, like for the majority of the start of the second half, I would say Drogheda looked a lot more comfortable, even though they were a man down. It was just bizarre. The sending off actually ruined any sort of formation or anything that Harps had, and suddenly heads were going. Look, and especially, you know, if you're a man down, the one person you want on your team is Gary Deegan, and you know, he was winding everybody up and making the play move, and Bastian Heary just fell for it, hook, line and sinker, lost the head completely, and was showing his marching orders. So yeah, I would say if that's how Finn Harps end up playing again on Monday night, we could turn them over. You know, Barry McNamee out of their squad is going to be a big thing as well.
Yeah, he's their version of Keith Ward.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, better hair.
Exactly.
He's got
better hair was exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. Although they're forward, they have Mihajlovic, is it? He's a decent player, and he seems to get around the park as well. So he's definitely a threat. But what they want to do all the time is try to slip a ball through a slide rule pass every single time. But you know, you got to be able to mix it up. You have to.
So it'll be a rollover for ourselves, will it?
Well, every time we say it's a rollover, lads, look what happens. So I'm definitely not saying that.
Chris, I know you've just come on, but I'm just looking at the note, while we have our most viewers, we're going to take advantage and put up our pre-recorded interview for this week. So,
Perfect.
Just when we were talking online and different charities that are going on to the club and that, and recently they've got the MND on the jersey, Dundalk Football Club. I think they've raised, correct me if I'm wrong, boys, €9,600, is it? And they've previously done charities with Temple Street as well, and that's gone €7,000 with the jersey. But a local charity that's been set up for one of Dundalk's former players is for Save Our Sonia. So Chris got a pre-recorded interview with one of the fundraisers, Emma Singleton, during the week, and I'm going to attempt to play it. I'm going to attempt to do this very seamlessly. It's not going to work, but we're going to attempt to play it anyway, and we'll see how we go. So this is just a short clip of what's coming up, what fundraisers are coming up, and how you can get involved, and basically, you can join up. It's a 5-a-side tournament that's on, and Emma's going to explain more about it now.
So on this part of the show, we just said we will get a update from, I suppose, a cause that's been quite close to a lot of us here with the organisation for Sonia. First and foremost, I suppose we haven't heard so much from yourselves in a while. How is Sonia?
Yeah, she's doing okay. She's trying her best to keep the sunny side out. She always does, to be fair to her. But it's tough for her, Chris. Like, it's just, she's trying to. So she was away in Mexico, thanks to all the great fundraising we did the last time. But the treatment's quite intense. It's not toxic, but it's quite intense. So she has to try copy that at home herself as best she can. So it's a busy schedule. She's always kind of, what tablets next, what treatments next. So she's a lot on her plate. But to be fair to her, she's still in good form. She's still out and about, and she's put us all to shame, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. If she didn't before in all her prior lives of playing football, she's definitely doing it now with her strength of character, if nothing else. You kind of touched on it there, Emma. It's a continuous road, I suppose, for Sonia to go down here. And we're building up to, I suppose, another trip back to Mexico again, is it?
Yeah, Chris. So we're hoping. So it has to be ongoing. So the treatment is helping to prolong her life. So obviously, the more of it we can get, the better. So she has terminal cancer, but it's stabilizing it, and it's helping us. So when it first started, I think they said she had a year to live, and now she's surpassed that already, like double fold. So it's just prolonging her life basically, and the more time she can go over, the better. So I think Sonia, the plan next is to try get over in July. That's what our next big fundraiser is for. But yeah, unfortunately, it's a constant thing. She's going to have to constantly keep up the treatment to try keep as fit and healthy as possible, really.
Yeah, and I remember explaining just the treatment that she had in Mexico last time. It's quite intense when she is there, isn't it?
Yeah, like the first time she went, I know it was 3 weeks. I think this time when she's going, it's 10 days to 2 weeks, and it's full on. You're in some of the stuff. It's a bit mad, like when you think about it. But infrared saunas, and Sonia was joking. Everybody else hates the saunas because they bring your body basically up to boiling temperature to make your immune system fight back to, I suppose, retrain it to work again how it's meant to work. But everybody else hates the saunas, and Sonia loves the saunas, like could only be like her. But yeah, the food is really strict, it's all non-toxic, there's no scans, nothing like that. But the food is completely different to what we'd have over here, and it's very sort of holistic treatment. And so yeah, it's really tough going. It's not as if she's lying on the beach over there having the crack, it's tough going when she's there, like.
Yeah, look, I suppose that probably brings us nicely into where you're going as the next step for a fundraiser for her. And like you say, it's this campaign is ongoing for her. We'll always have to be able to help and contribute when we can. But this one looks like it's going to be a fun event, kind of for all the family nearly on the day too. If you want to tell us a little about it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know the last one we done, because I don't want people to confuse the two. So the last one we done was a Gaelic and a soccer match, and we got outstanding support and donations and everything else from people. But this one, so it's called Bigfoot Football. So everybody's trying to play with a ball. Everybody's going to have big rubber boots on. So everybody's at the same disadvantage. So once you're over 12 years of age and you're still able to walk and do all the rest. You can play. And then we're going to have family fun events. So we'll have like a giant inflatable target practice. We're going to have a penalty shootout. We're hoping to have a couple of inflatables there on the day as well. So there'll be loads going on. It's not just for people who are into soccer or Gaelic or whatever it might be. So, because I know people often, they don't know what to be doing at the bank holidays. So bank holiday Sunday, sure to be loads of fun for everyone of all sorts of ages.
Yeah, and look, from living close to Sonia for the past number of years, I know how close she is with her family and that as well. So it's great to see these kind of family events, because it's very much in keeping with her character as well, isn't it?
Oh, of course, yeah. And she's kind of always been like that, you know, like she'd always take everyone under her wing, and she'll always want as many people as possible to be involved. And, you know, yeah, they've always been very close. So she had always kind of wanted things to be family orientated, because like that, you know, like having all the money in the world is great, but your friends and family are the thing that matter the most. And she's always known that. And I suppose too, she really wants to give something back to people that have done so much for her over the last couple of years, to be able to say, oh, well, look, here's a good fun day out for everyone. Yeah, but definitely she's always been really well grounded in that sense. Like,
yeah. I suppose you've kind of just mentioned it there, so it won't be too serious of an event either. You know, when we think of Sonia, we think of, you know, all sorts of scoring records and you know, and titles everywhere she's gone, in no more so than here in Dundalk. Like, so it's it'd be interesting to see what the level could possibly be there with everybody on the day. And I suppose although the last event was very much like I say, it was included with her GA circles and her football circles, this is those to be included, but and more. Am I right?
Absolutely, yeah. The more the merrier. Like, we have a little registration form. It's all on the Save Our Sonia Facebook page or Instagram page or website for that matter. But yeah, absolutely, the more the merrier. All sorts of ability, all sorts of ages, we can all play. But I said to Sonia, you're not allowed to take part in the penalty shootout because you'll probably win. Like, you know,
we'll have a Father Ted moment there when the people who organise it win the event.
Yeah, I know, it'd be like a Father Ted moment, yeah. But yeah, no, so hopefully it'll be, and it's all indoors, so we're not worried about the weather or anything else. So hopefully it'll be a good day out.
Yeah, and just going to, I suppose, the details on that. So is it a pay per team event sort of a thing? Is there people can also contribute on the day a little bit more? Is it, or?
Yeah, so the way we're doing it at the minute, it's 5 people per team. You can obviously have more than that if you want, but it's €50 per team. Okay. So we'd like everybody, we have 4 teams registered so far, and others that people are contacting us, but we need you to group all your people together, get a team, and then get in touch, because it starts on the day. You know yourself, it'll be mayhem. It'll be hours before it's sorted. So the more teams we have, the better. So it's €50 per team. Okay. So that should work out €10 per person. And if any, we'll absolutely have a little bucket collection on the day. But if any businesses or anyone that might not be able to take part would like to donate, they can do so through the Save Our Sonia or the GoFundMe page. Because we have had a couple of very generous donations from local businesses. So again, if they would like to throw in some sponsorship or anything like that, absolutely, the more the merrier. We'd be very thankful for that as well.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it's going to be a fun event. And I think it's great to see. Like, we've seen this in the initial fundraising for Sonia, and with the likes of Zoe Murphy and everything down the line, when there is a need or a cause or someone that needs a bit of help, the town has always been so good, haven't they, about rallying behind something like this?
Oh yeah, like I was saying that to someone the other day, actually, like, because we had known that the GoFundMe, when it was going to go up and stuff, and Sonia was saying, oh, I don't know whether that's going to work, and this, and we were like, we're telling you, you know, that many people over the years, like, it's going to go up. And that is the quickest I've ever seen a GoFundMe reach its target. Like, I think it was less than 48 hours. It was phenomenal. Like, it just took off so quick. And like, for a town that's so, I don't want to say small, because I know it's a large town in Ireland, but for such a small community, like considering, it's not a big city or anything, people really, really have got behind it. And like so many people coming out of the woodwork, like Sonia was saying, that people she went to primary school with, secondary, college, she worked with maybe 20 years ago. Like, so people have been really, really incredible. Like,
yeah, and then there's also the sporting side of it. It's a cliche to kind of say once you get involved in sport, it'll kind of look after you forever. But it turns out to be that way, because you make such bonds with people that when there's an opportunity to come back and help, people will always jump at the chance too.
Yeah, of course. I've always said that, sport teaches it a lot. Like, teach you maybe how to work with people that you don't want to work with, but it helps you make all those friendships with people you might not necessarily have come across in your life. Otherwise, and like Sonia had always been such a good mentor to other people, like, younger girls, younger guys, everyone. But and she was always so involved in everything. If there was ever a fundraiser, or if there was ever someone needed to take training or stretches or whatever it might be, she was always the first one there. But definitely, Stancy, the world of sport, it opened so many different avenues for you, and it just showed. We couldn't believe it either, the amount of support, that just the momentum that it gained. Like, I think at one stage, the Irish ladies soccer team had a video up for and everything. Like, it was just amazing.
Yeah, no, it's great to see, and it's great for someone like Sonia, like someone who most of us here in the podcast we know extremely well. So like we wish her all the best in this journey as well. So once again, just people can just go to the Save Our Sonia socials. They'll get all the information there and register a team. I was talking to Gally earlier on, so like we'll definitely put in a team anyway.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah.
Whether we're any good or not, we'll have to see. Someone said it'd be the straightest.
Big things.
Yeah. Might be the straightest Steph McKevitt foot we've had in a while, mind you. Emma, thanks so much for your time. We'll put all the details in the show information below, and we'll share the link out then during the week as well. Is that okay?
That's brilliant, Chris. Thanks so much.
Perfect. Thank you.
Bye.
That was seamless. He caught me off guard there talking about putting in a team now. I kind of said it to him, but I didn't know we were debating it. Steph, you got to be mentioned there. You might have to make a comeback, will you?
I'm in. I'm signed up. I'm doing it.
So Eddie, for anybody that was listening, that's on it's on. Is it the bank holiday weekend? Is that correct? In DKID. So we'll have the details on up on our page from tonight after the show and tomorrow, and be plugging away. So anybody wants to get involved, get in contact. Great local charity, great event. I think this is their second one that they've organised apart from the GoFundMe. So so lads, just on the game, I know Chris had a goal just for bad signal. He's probably on the run waiting for Darius to jump in the window again. We're probably going to. I know we stumbled across it earlier on, but we probably will have to mention the ref. Maybe get in a wee. I know Donald Hanks is always on ref watch. So we'll start with you, Donald. Like, when people, even tweets were going out before the game when Rob Harvey was like, I didn't know he was refereeing until the game started, but he does seem to bring that little bit of drama with him, doesn't he? He does seem to have that. I won't say a pop star following, but he does seem to have that aspect of it in the game. You always know there's going to be something, isn't there?
Yeah, he's got the predictable unpredictability, that the only thing you can be guaranteed of when he's refereeing is that something is going to absolutely melt your brain, that he's going to make a decision that will make no sense to anybody except for him. And then I'd say if you asked him again, or if we refereed the game exactly the same, he wouldn't make the same decision again.
Yeah.
Just one of those absolutely mind-boggling decisions. But like I know we're talking about the referee. I have to mention that the commentators actually said something nice about Rob Harvey early in the game.
That is correct.
And the co-commentator, Kevin something, wasn't it? Kevin Kelly? No.
I don't know what it says. Is it McHugh?
Oh, was it? I don't know. He was saying about the standard of refereeing going up around the league, and I'm like, that this thing doesn't work. That you saying the standard of refereeing has gone up doesn't get you decisions during the game. Like, this is going to work against.
And that was early doors. He said that in the first, I think it was still nil at that stage.
Yeah, and there was a decision that Rob Harvey made that went for Derry, and he said, "Oh, that's consistent refereeing from from Rob Harvey, and he said something nice about him, and then within 2 minutes, he was like, you could hear the inner thoughts of him being like, oh, I shouldn't have said it, and this clown is going to make loads of stupid decisions. And then he went full Rob Harvey in the second half. Like, I dropped something on the floor and he gave me a yellow card. Like, it was absolutely bananas what was going on. I don't know. Like, we couldn't see a lot of what he was giving yellow cards for.
Yeah,
like a lot of it seemed to happen
because that camera was just hell bent on the centre circle for most of the game.
yeah. It didn't want to really show us what everybody's going to be talking about tomorrow. But I think that's the thing. Like, you see his name, and to be fair, you see most of the names. I don't like hassling referees and stuff because it's just kind of nobody wins, you know.
Yeah.
But there's just certain things, like when you see certain names referee and you're like, well, absolutely anything could happen tonight. And I guess that adds to the whole drama of the game. It adds to the entertainment value, provided nobody actually gets violent. But I think, look, he had a Rob Harvey.
He had one of them. Yeah, he had a Harvey Wallbanger. That's what we call it.
Yeah,
I was about to say that. Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, like, I think you see some referees, and you know, it's always like, Steph, you would have played, so you'd probably be a better man to talk about this. But I don't mean to go against what Donald said. I'm just about to say what I'm about to say. So, like, if a ref usually what you see is a ref starts throwing out early cards really early in the game. It kind of has to be a form then going through the match. But that wasn't the case. And he just seemed to be, I don't know what he had at half time. It just seemed to be an absolute mayhem for the second half, didn't it? Usually you'd expect that if he dishes out a harsh yellow card within the first 3 or 4 minutes, he kind of has to continue it then because he set the tone. But it just seemed to be a mad kind of 20-minute spell, didn't it?
There wasn't, like, you're struggling to find a bad tackle in the game.
Yeah.
Like, that's a lot, like, okay, Wardy picks up a booking for a cynical foul, but it's not a dirty challenge or anything. It's a professional foul nearly. But like, it must be, I don't know, like, some of the refs just seem to, you know, have this thing about them that you used to be able to talk to a referee. You can't not, I wouldn't even say question them, but if anybody is seeming to talk to a referee, it's like, you know, you're in trouble straight away. So
yeah,
I don't know, like if you're trying to talk to a referee, and it seems to be right through any football I've seen lately, it's, I don't know whether they're getting an opinion of themselves, but the best referees were never the center of attention. The best referees were, like, actually, who's reffing that game tonight? Because you did let the game flow, and, you know, look, maybe I'm wrong, but
long be the days when you had Alan Kelly doing referee. Like, you know, remember, like, he could it'd be easier to bring him home and let him do all the games, have a game every night, send him all over the country. Like, you know, there's a reason he's making the big money out in the States and doing Champions League matches.
I thought when you said by bringing him home, I thought that was going to go somewhere else.
yeah, that's a different podcast.
But it just seems to be, and look, it's not that we're hammering tonight's referee only. This is going on all season, and we haven't really brought it up that much. We kind of mentioned here and there, but it does seem to be a bit of a.
They're all bad.
I get that referees have a tolerance level, but there's kind of there's a place and a time. It just seems to be just crazy stuff. Crazy. Like, it's more shocking that there wasn't reds. I know Stevie was, but it's more shocking that for the yellow card he dished out, you know, surely someone's going to pick up a second one.
That's the thing. Like, that's what I find most, I think, with the referees in the league, is like, you're more shocked at what they don't give. Yeah. Like, if somebody falls down somewhere and you don't think it's a free kick, I'm always amazed that they don't, like, immediately blow the whistle and card is out. Like, it's, I guess, it's the inconsistency thing, that you just have absolutely no idea what they're going to do. And there's plenty of times, like, and in fairness to him, maybe you guys should, I'll ask you guys this before I say anything. Just to
Oh,
get
here we go.
temperature in the room. But the free kick that we gave away that led to the goal, did you think it was a free kick?
There was 2 free kicks, which that led to their goal.
Yeah. There was a ball over the top, and Akintunde, I think it was it?
Yeah.
On the wing.
Dara Leahy and
Yeah, it looked. I actually thought for a split second, I looked up and I actually thought he fell into the box. I actually thought he was going to blow in. I don't know how close it was now. It might have been just my eyesight. But it seemed to be one of those.
Into the box, but
there was one at Oriel Park a couple of weeks ago where it was kind of just a knocking of legs more than anything else. Now, I don't know if I didn't see the replay of tonight's, but that's what it kind of looked like. Like, because it's out there, like, I'd be interested to know if it had happened in the box, would you give it a penalty? You know, it's one of them ones, isn't it?
Yeah, the reason I was asking was because I was full sure he was going to give a penalty.
Yeah,
I didn't even think about whether it was a foul or not. I thought he's so far into the box now after the foul that like this is 100% going to be a penalty, and this is what we'll be talking about after the game. Yeah. But I just assumed it was a free kick. I didn't really think it was a crazy decision. I didn't see people on Twitter saying about how it was a crazy decision, but I didn't see. Maybe I just
Steph's the fullback. Steph would know one of them kind of challenges.
Definitely wasn't a free kick.
There we go. That's it. Good night. See you.
Yeah, like I think the one you're thinking of, Gally, is against Shells, where there was sort of a tangling of feet maybe or something like that, and it looked harsh. I can't remember if you watched it back or not, but
was it Sloggett?
Loads of people saying
someone else.
There was a Kelly. It was Dan Kelly, I think.
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, but look, Leahy loses Akintunde for I don't know, he's ball watching or something like that, and it's actually poor defending from Leahy. He should do better, and then he's looking around to see if someone will bail him out. I don't know whether he's going to give out to somebody or not. But the reaction from it was brilliant. Like, just to concede like that, it could have been a total downer, and they could have been going on top and going for the winner, and we've nabbed it instead. So we'll get away from these referees quickly and the poor decisions. Yeah,
I think we're coming up to the end of this fantastically produced podcast by myself, if I do say so myself, lads. So obviously the only main business of the night is to pick our man of the match. So we'll quickly go through ours. So I'll get you to kick it off on what we think. You're not getting pizza, but
yeah, like I said at the beginning or before, I can't remember when I said it, but like it's a difficult one to pick one standout performer because I think everybody played well, and you'll be looking at like Hubin and Benson, the 2 goals and stuff. So they're obviously contenders, but I'll go with the saxophone man. I'll go with Sloggett as man of the match, my man of the match, because like Steph said, I think the second half he was excellent, and he was a major part in being able to control the game and being able to shut Derry down. So I'll go with
again the next Derry player as well, so he probably loves it.
Yeah.
Go on, Steph. Steph's deep in meditation thought there.
I was just going to say copy and paste what Donald said. I'm going to go for saxophone Sloggett again. Went from last week and I'm going to go from again. Just one of the pieces of play that sticks out in my mind was just right at the end, I think it was, and we either have a corner or a free kick, and they had it clear, and it looks like they were about to go on the attack, and he comes out of nowhere and just comes in front of I think it was maybe it wasn't McGonigal because he didn't play it tonight, but I can't remember. But Sloggett comes in and not only nicks the ball away, but he plays a pass out to the left, and he finds, I think it was Ward or Leahy, and I was just thinking, like they could have easily gone in the attack there on the counter attack and might have equalised, and he's just snuffed that out. And like when you're playing against somebody like that, it sort of breaks your heart here. You're thinking, never going to get past this man here. So little thing like that just stuck out in my head, and he done it numerous times tonight, and he seemed to be a real driving force, and he's becoming a bit of a leader in there just from his play alone. I haven't got up in a couple of weeks, but he seems to be really driving the team forward from that midfield spot. And he's athletic and he's powerful, and you know, these little interceptions, how he's reading the game now, it looks like he's come on a ton in the last wee while, and look, regular game time and whatever he's learning on the training pitch, and you know, he's probably settled now. He's probably settled in his head, knowing, look, I'm going to play here. If I'm fit and I'm going to be playing, like, so. Look, that can be a big thing for players as well. Just once he doesn't get complacent, but he doesn't come across like that sort of player. So, look, I thought he was excellent again. I've dragged it on a bit much. So, Gally, who are you going to go for?
I don't need to vote because you have voted. This is great. But I had on a clean sweep. Slog. I mean, I would have given a shout for Shepherd, but then again, you know, when he was, I know he did a couple of saves, but then basically what you were saying, Steph, when Slogger was in a shift like that, and the best thing about Slogger is not only is he sponsored by us, but I was one of the people that kind of wondered last year, would he still get a game at Oriel Park? We didn't know where he was going to play. He was kind of one of those players that kind of just meandered into the centre. We didn't know if he was a CDM. Like, he played attacking over the last couple of weeks as well. Without rambling on too much, I thought he was excellent tonight. And look, I mentioned for Hoban as well. I thought Doyle played. Doyle, did I call him Hoban? I really need to stop calling him Hoban. That's years of language problems. That's Pingu's fault. But yeah, no, Sloggers. Yeah, look, I think it's not that there's no argument, but for me, he was just that little bit extra above everybody else, and he seems to be, like Steph was saying, he seems to be becoming one of those players that we're going to be dependent on, you know, for hopefully this season and seasons to come as well. Right, lads, so who wants to do the honours? Will I quickly muddle through them?
Yeah, I like you. You're holding the show.
Go for who have we got? Let's see who hasn't had a pizza. Jeez, all these regulars. It's great to see all these regulars who have gotten pizzas before. So we will go for Ryan Dillon. I think he was the first. Just looking here, I didn't check. It could be the first one in with the Slogger as well. So we will go for that. Ryan, collect your. You can message Vinny and God, I was only going to say Town End Pizza. Tony's Pizzeria, collect your pizza on behalf of the podcast. Congratulations. And
well done, Slim.
Is there a connection now? We'd be done for fraud.
No, there's no connection. No, I just know Ryan a long time. He used to be a good striker back in the day.
Oh, he used to be yours.
We won't go into the nickname of Slim. It's for another day.
We'll leave it. That's like Baywatch nights. That's for after midnight stuff. So lads, look, thanks very much. Thanks everybody for watching. I think we'll end it on that. We've just gone over the hour mark. Thanks to our sponsors, Dundalk Village, Tony's Pizzeria in association with Playoff Fit as well. Thanks to the lads. It's difficult. I've one eye. I apologise if I was looking off the screen half the night because I've one eye on all the production stuff. Chris is just down to a T, but I don't. So lads, who are we going to get to end the show? It's definitely not going to be me because I think the pizza winner. Go on, who we got?
Look, it wasn't a case of men against boys. It was men against Derry girls.